Are you preparing for your Texas real estate exam? Well, today I'm going to review maybe 10 questions for the new Texas real estate exam book that I purchased. And so these are current questions that will help you prepare for your Texas and national questions and Texas and national exam. All right, so you have Texas questions, national questions that apply to all 50 states. I focus on Texas questions and also national. There are national questions and many other YouTube channels. However, this one is national and Texas focus. So stay tuned, and we're going to review a few of the actual Texas license examination sample tests. So I'm using a book, okay, that I have permission to use, and it's the blue book. Let me show you that. So this is the blue book that I really like because it goes through a lot of questions, explains the answers, and goes over all the chapters and all the different materials that you need for your Texas real estate license exam. The one thing that it is missing is vocabulary. However, you can find vocabulary on any website, on any book that you can Google and purchase. I should say, not any book. Only certain books have vocabulary on it. So this is the book that we're going to use. It's by Stephen Metling and his son, Ryan Metling, and two other authors, David Cusick and Dan Hamilton, and I have permission to use their book so that I am not violating the copyright. This is Lillie Hendy Dominguez with YouTube Agent Prep coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. And yes, I am currently practicing real estate in Texas. And actually, I just had a property go pending today. Yahoo! That is awesome. All right, so let's get into these questions. So this is the Texas License Examination Sample Test. It's a practice test for Texas. So it's going to have a combination of Texas and national questions. I can't tell you which ones are going to be national, which ones are state. Just follow with me and I will read through the question, point out some key things that you should look at when you're taking the exam or you're studying the actual 4 options given, and then review the questions, the question answer with you. Okay, number 1, a farmer temporarily installs produce coolers in a leased farmland in order to prevent spoilage. The coolers would be considered which of the following? Okay, things to look at here. Temporarily installs in a leased farm stand. So something like that should give you a clue as to who it belongs to. So is it A, trade fixtures that are real property? B, trade fixtures that are personal property? C, trade fixtures that are temporary real property? Or D, emblements? So I'll give you a moment so that you can type your answer in the chat, and then I will review the answer. I won't be showing you the answer. I will just describe it or go over it. Okay, so the answer here is B. Trade fixtures that are personal property. Why? Because this person that is selling produce or using a produce cooler is in a leased farm stand. So it belongs to that lessee. Okay. So the trade fixtures are items of a tenant's personal property that the tenant has temporarily affixed to a landlord's real property in order to conduct business. Trade fixtures may be detached and removed before or upon surrender of the leased properties. Should the tenant fail to remove a trade fixture, it may become the property of the landlord through accession. Thereafter, the fixture is considered real property. So that tenant needs to remove that property once the lease is expired. Otherwise, as it says, it belongs to the lessor. There's a certain number of days in order for that. Typically, leases are minimum 30 days. Type your question in the answer in the chat, and we'll go to the next question. Number 2, personal property can be converted from real to personal property and from personal property to real property by means of which processes, respectively? A, assemblage and plottage. B, application and dissolution. C, severance and affixing. D, planting and harvesting. Give you a moment to type your answers. So remember, you're looking at personal property, changing it from real to personal. So you have to know, what is real property? What is personal property? You also have to know vocabulary: assemblage, plottage, severance, affixing. Those are vocabulary terms that I stress for you to learn and practice all the time. It'll help you better answer the questions and understand them. Okay, the answer here is C, severance and affixing. Severance is the conversion of real property to personal property by detaching it from the real property. Affixing or attachment is the act of converting personal property to real property, because you're now attaching it to the property, the real property, by attaching it to the real estate, such as by assembling a pile of bricks into a barbecue pit or constructing a boat dock from wood planks. So remember, the real property is the land and all its attachment. So once something is attached to that land, it becomes real property. If it's temporarily attached, it is personal property and can be detached. So the answer here again was C, severance and affixing. Next question. The highest form of ownership interest one can acquire in real estate is the A, legal life estate, B, conventional life estate, C, defeasible fee simple estate, or D, absolute fee simple estate. Type your answer in the chat. The answer here is D, absolute fee simple estate. The fee simple freehold, okay, these are all terms that you need to also study. Legal life estate, conventional life estate, defeasible fee simple estate, absolute fee simple estate. Absolute fee simple estate is the best type of estate to have. It is the highest form of ownership interest one can acquire in real estate. It includes the complete bundle of rights. Go back and study your complete bundle of rights. And the tenancy is unlimited. What is tenancy and what is unlimited? With certain exceptions. Sometimes there are exceptions. The fee simple absolute estate is a perpetual estate that is not conditioned by stipulated or restricted uses. So this shows you that it's very important to you review the vocabulary. Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. So please do not skip studying vocabulary. It is crucial that you learn your vocabulary. Study at least 5 every day or more. And when you see a vocabulary word in a question and you don't know what it is, go back and review it. Number 4, the distinguishing feature of a defeasible fee simple estate is A, it can be passed on to heirs. B, it has no restrictions on use. C, the estate may revert to a grantor or heirs if the prescribed use changes. Or D, it is of unlimited duration. So the distinguishing feature of a defeasible, definition, vocabulary, fee simple estate, vocabulary. Type your answer in the chat. The answer here is C. The estate may revert to a grantor or heirs if the described use changes. The defeasible fee estate is perpetual, provided the usage conforms to stated conditions. Essential characteristics are the property must be used for certain purpose or under certain conditions, and if the use changes or if prohibited conditions are present, the estate reverts to the previous grantor of the estate. So the individuals who use that property have to use it according to the instructions and the conditions. Number 5. Let me minimize this a little bit. All right, number 5. Maria acquires a property from her uncle Alfonso. When Maria dies, the estate will pass to Alfonso's other niece, Serena. The type of estate that Maria has in the property is a what? A, conventional life estate. B, legal life estate. C, fee simple, defeasible estate. Or D, tenancy by the entireties. These are all vocabulary. So if you don't know what these all mean, please go back and review your vocabulary. The answer here is a conventional life estate. Okay, conventional life estate. Because Maria acquires a property from her uncle, Alfonso. When she dies, the estate will pass to Alfonso's other niece. Okay, which was another niece. She was a niece, so they're cousins, right? This type of estate is a conventional life estate. Conventional life estate is a freehold estate that has all the bundles of rights, that is limited in duration to the life of the owner or other named person. Upon the death of the owner or other named individual, the estate passes to the original owner or another named party. A legal life estate is created by law as opposed to a property owner's choice. So it's not like in a will that they say it goes to exactly to a certain person. It is a legal estate created by law. And this is in the state of Texas. Number 6. One difference between a cooperative estate and a condominium estate is that, okay, vocabulary here. Cooperative estate, excuse me, and a condominium estate. So what's the difference between a cooperative estate and a condominium estate? Go back and study that. A condominium owner owns a unit of airspace, whereas the co-op owner owns a proprietary lease. Okay, vocabulary, proprietary lease and airspace. B, a condominium sale adversely affects other unit owners. B, the co-op owner owns stock and a freehold estate interest, whereas the condominium owner simply has a proprietary lease. So difference here, the co-op owner, a freehold estate, or condominium owner, and proprietary lease. These are all vocabulary. D, The condominium owner owns the common elements and the airspace, whereas the co-op owner only owns the apartment. So a condo can be considered an apartment in this situation, even though they are purchased and you own the interior portion of the property. And that's where insurance applies on the inside of the property. The condominium membership or association has insurance for the outside and the management of the outside. Type your answer in the chat. Answer here is letter A. A condominium owner owns a unit of airspace. So you might be first, second, third, fourth level or higher, multi-level units. Whereas the co-op owner owns a proprietary lease. A co-op owner owns a unit in the whole cooperation and they lease it. That is a proprietary lease. They co-op on all the ownership of the condominiums in place. Condominium owner owns one unit within the whole condominium subdivision association, and it's called a unit of airspace. So the answer is A. Number 7. Who are the essential parties involved in an estate in a trust? Things to keep in mind here. A trust. What is a trust? Who's involved in a trust? Estate. Essential parties. So, who are the essential parties involved in an estate in trust? A, owner, trustor, and lawyer. B, owner, trustor, and trustee. C, trustee, title company, and beneficiary. D, trustor, trustee, and beneficiary. So go back and learn about what parties are involved when there is a trust. The answer here is keep saying number. Letter D, trustor, trustee, and beneficiary. Whenever there is a trust, there are 3 parties to the trust: a trustor, a trustee, and the beneficiary. The trustor is the individual that the actual owner trusts in. The trustee is the person that manages the trust, is the trustee. Should there be any changes, the trustee is the one that will sign for the trustor. And then the beneficiary is the actual owner. Okay, once it is sold, bought, or it conveys. So in an estate in trust, a fee owner, the grantor or trustor. So who is the grantor? Who is the trustor? The giver, right? You have the giver or the receiver. So it's the trustor. Transfers legal title to a fiduciary, the trustee, who holds and manages the estate for the benefit of another party, the beneficiary. So trustee, the grantor. Trustee, the person that manages. Beneficiary, whoever actually owns the property or assigned to the property. Okay, number 8. A condominium owner enjoys a what? A, share in an association that owns one apartment. B, tenancy and common interest in airspace and common areas of the property. C, fee simple ownership of the airspace in a unit and undivided share of the entire property's common areas. Or D, a fee simple ownership of a pro rata share of the entire property. Again, condominium. Do you know what a condominium owner means? Vocabulary. Take a moment to think about this. Type your comment, type your answer in the chat. So a condominium owner enjoys, letter C, a fee simple ownership of an airspace in a unit and undivided share of the entire property's common areas. So if you're on the first floor, second, third, fourth, or high rises, you own the inside of that unit, like an apartment, a flat. Then you get to share the common areas in the outside. Then the individuals pay homeowner association dues that may cover, water, sewerage, trash, property maintenance, insurance of the outside of the building, paving, roofs. All that is covered by the HOA dues that are paid monthly by a condominium owner. So again, C, fee simple ownership of the airspace in a unit, all the inside of the unit, and an undivided share of the entire property's common areas. C. Well, my clicking's not working right here. Okay. Let's see here. Number 9. With various types of junior liens. What type of liens? Junior liens, not primary liens, not senior liens. With various types of junior liens, the order of payment priority is generally established according to what? A, the date of recordation. B, what form of tax it is in question. C, the order of disbursement. Or D, whether the lien was subordinated. So what determines the level, the order of a lien? Primary, secondary, tertiary. So it is C, A, the date of recordation. Whenever a lien is recorded, the mortgage lien on the purchase of a property becomes the primary lien. If they have a subordinate lien, like a second lien, they have a first and they have a second, then the second lien becomes the junior lien. And the others also are junior liens, but they play a lower level. There could be HOADs, mechanical liens, property taxes. Property taxes come first, they have the priority. After property taxes, then it's the primary lien and the junior lien. So understand the differences between liens and who has priority, because this is crucial, especially if you get involved with short sales. Then you've got, because if you're a realtor or a student that's interested in doing short sales or purchasing short sale properties as an investor, you'll want to know which liens are in or attached to the property. And you'll find out all the different liens and then have to negotiate with them. Number 10. What is a lien theory state in contrast to a title theory state? Lien theory versus title theory. Excuse me. A state in which, a state in which liens are given priority over other encumbrances. What are encumbrances? So here, got to learn what lien theory state is, title theory state, vocabulary, liens, encumbrances. B, a state in which a mortgagor, what is a mortgagor? Retains title to the property when a mortgage lien is created. C, a state in which the holder of a mortgage lien receives title to the mortgaged property until the debt is satisfied. What is a debt? What is a mortgage property? D, a state in which liens must be recorded to be enforceable. What does it mean, recorded, enforceable? Where do they get recorded? So the answer to this question, what is the lien theory state in contrast to a title theory state, is B. A state in which a mortgagor retains title to the property when a mortgage lien is created. So you have the mortgagee and the mortgagor. Go to your definitions and look at what the difference of those two are. Okay, so for today, we did 10 questions for the Texas real estate exam, and we will continue to do others in the next sessions. I will continue in order. So for the Texas license exam sample, and there may be 80 questions on this, and I'll review 10 questions at a time every week on a Wednesday. So if you have any questions, put them down on the comments. I'll reply to your questions. As always, remember to study vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. This is the book that we are using, Texas Real Estate Exam Prep by Stephen Metling, Ryan Kusick, Ryan Metling, and Dan Hamilton. It's an excellent book. It was just published in October of 2024. So it has all the current laws that came about after there were issues with National Association of Realtors and any changes that were done to the contracts and any other documentation, because there's a lot more forms now in 2025 and in 2024 than we had before. So you want to make sure you study those contracts, study those vocabulary, review the questions and the answers. When you take a sample test, keep taking the test over and over and over. Repetition helps until you get a perfect score of 100. This is what I did when I was preparing for my exam in Texas, in Oregon, is keep repeating the exams until I get a perfect score. Don't just give up at when you get a 70, because you know what? The questions at the actual exam are actually tougher, and they have an abundance of questions. They have a bucket of questions that they pull from all exams that you go and take. If you have to repeat the exam, each time the exam has different questions. Don't assume that you're going to have the same questions that you had the first time, because wrong, not going to be that way. You want to prepare for unexpected. There will be questions that you said, my gosh, I didn't study that. I never saw that. I didn't read that anywhere. Well, they want you to think and have some common sense in reality, in the real world of real estate. So talk to other realtors, talk to lenders, talk to other people that are already in real estate and have experience. Talk to other students that have taken the exam. Get questions from them. This is only one source you can use. There are many. And in the description, I have a link of other real estate real estate books that you can purchase, and you can do prep studies like with Prep Agent or other schools, the Champion School of Real Estate. They have prep study courses that you can pay for to prepare for your exam. Do whatever it takes to prepare to pass your real estate exam. However, vocabulary is crucial. Repetition of all the same questions over and over is crucial. The more you repeat them, the more you get familiar with the question, with the answers, and you understand the information, the material much better. Real estate seems like it's easy, and it can be easy. It takes a lot of work. So I hope you enjoyed this class, or this prep class tutoring of 10 questions. You have any questions, hey, put them down in the comment. If you like watching my channel, Hey, click the subscribe button, tap that thumbs up and the little bell so that you get alerted anytime I go live or upload. I'm also uploading other types of videos about my personal life activities that I do to keep a balanced life in real estate to do the best job for my clients. We all have a personal life, family life, other part-time work. Not everybody does real estate full time. Keep that in mind. Until next time, catch you later. This is Lily Handy Dominguez with YouTube Agent Prep coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Until next time, bye and thank you.